Hare Krishna. Namani anantasya hatatra pratam guhyani badrani kritani cha smaran gam gam pariyatam tushtumana kalam pratishtan vimado vimatsarah. So, any Matajis or Prabhujis would like to try this?
Can I try, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes. Nanam maya anantasya hatatrapa pathana guhayani bhadrani kritani chasmarana gayam gam prayatan stushtamana gadaspraham kalam pratikshan vimado vimatsaraha. Sorry, Mataji.
Very well. Very nice. And then, any Prabhuji?
I think Mamta Mata is trying to say her voice is very low.
Okay, okay.
आपका आवाज
Mataji, it's
बहुत कम है
very low,
माताजी.
Mataji.
I don't know, Mataji, because everything is as usual.
Now we can hear you little, but
Is it okay, Mataji? No.
yes, yes.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Shall I
Krishna.
try, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Namani anantasya tatrapatan guhyani badrani kritan cha samsmaran gam prayatam tastamana gatas prahaha kalam pratikshan vimado mutsaraha.
Very good. Mamta Mataji?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, please.
How is it, Mataji?
Yeah, now it's better, Mataji.
Namya anashtashahato pathan guyam vibhadrani kirtani chashman smaran gam prayatamash ishthamana gatashtrahe kalam pratikshana vimado vimatsara.
Hari Bol. Thank you, Mataji. So, translation. Any Prabhujis would like to read the translation?
I can do it.
Yes.
Yeah, Prabhu. Please go ahead, Prabhu.
Prabhu, after you, Prabhu. I'll do it. Thanks.
Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Thus I began chanting the holy name and fame of the Lord by repeated recitation, ignoring all the formalities of the material world. Such chanting and remembering of the transcendental pastime of the Lord are benedictory. So doing, I traveled all over the earth, fully satisfied, humble, and unenvious.
Hari. Sunil Prabhuji, this purport.
Hare Krishna. Thank you,
Hare Krishna.
Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. The life of... Am I audible, Mataji? Clearly?
Yes, Prabhuji, yes.
Okay. Thank you, Mataji. The life of a sincere devotee of the Lord is thus explained in a nutshell by Narada Muni by his personal example. Such a devotee, after his initiation by the Lord or his bona fide representative, takes very seriously chanting of the glories of the Lord and traveling all over the world so that others may also hear the glories of the Lord. Such devotees have no desire for material gain. They are conducted by one single desire to go back to the Godhead. This awaits them in due course on quitting the material body. Because they have the highest aim of life, which is going back to Godhead, they are never envious of anyone, nor are they proud of being eligible to go on back to Godhead. Their only business is to chant and remember the holy name, fame, pastime of the Lord, and according to the personal capacity, to distribute the message for others' welfare without motive of material gain.
Hari Bol. So, like, in a nutshell, if we can explain this purport, can anyone tell me like what this sloka concludes?
Mataji, I will try. So if one line, somebody will ask me, what is one line heading for this shloka? And out of the purport and translation, what I understood, Mataji, live simple and do chant.
Hari Bol.
That's all.
Thank you, Mataji. Sunil Prabhuji.
Yes, Hare Krishna, same only Mataji, like chanting for self and helping others to chant.
Hari Bol.
Thank
So yes, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji, Mataji. So other than that important point you are referring to, there's one like this translation speaks about someone who is narrating their own story, and that someone is Narad Muni. By his personal example, he is enlightening his disciple who is already learned, who is Vyasdev. So basically, if we see like we might have heard this, how I came to Krishna consciousness, that was told long back in long back. It was started by Narad Muni in Srimad Bhagavatam. So yeah, according to but the message here Prabhupada and one more message she gives is like, according to one's personal capacity, like we might have we may not be as great as Narad Muni, but as per our capacity, whatever we could in a small way, we have to distribute this message for the welfare of others without having any motive for material gain. Material gain also includes appreciation. So this sloka actually concludes how Narad Muni, by his personal example, gives an example, like gives and shares his story. So just a minute. So here, this session is all about share your story. That is how I came to Krishna consciousness. So this is an article written in God Back to Godhead magazine by Chaitanya Charandas Prabhuji. Charandas Prabhuji, and what he is like, he has written is this thing in back October 2030 in that volume edition. So I luckily went through this article, and it is just whatever he is telling, I'm just elaborating that, like all the efforts goes to him. So he is telling us how did we come to Krishna consciousness. This is one of the most stimulating, like asking these questions are like most stimulating question, and as per I know, I've asked this question to every devotees here, and every devotees have asked me this question. This is one of the one of the question which is asked by devotees usually, because everyone wants to know about it, how we came to Krishna consciousness. This is like in Back to Godhead magazine, there is a feature called how I came to Krishna consciousness, where which is actually one of the most attractive feature in BTG. And then Chaitanya Chandas, being editor, one of the editor of BTG, he said he understood the importance behind writing or reading anyone's story of how he got connected to Krishna consciousness. So if we see Hare Krishna TV also, we might have seen that there is one feature of Hare Krishna TV that they interview devotees, they ask devotees, random devotees from all spectrum and all stages of life, that how they got connected to Krishna consciousness. I was just last 6 months or something, we saw a video about a tailor, like how a tailor got connected to Krishna consciousness, and then after some days we saw an interview of a CA, how he got to Krishna consciousness. Basically, this platform, regardless of your material achievements or material thing, like usually people interview only those who has too much success, materially successful, but this platform gives everyone chance to express their view. So if someone asks me what is that one thing which makes Krishna consciousness it's like how I came to Krishna consciousness, so nice and so attractive. I would say I will not have a good answer, because I have no clarity on why it is so important. But Chaitanya Chandas Prabhuji, he says that he has read so many stories, and out of that he has come up with the acronyms for the word share, whatever we have it here. So the share, and the share in share, S stands for special, H stands for heart to heart, A stands for attractive, R stands for reminding, and E stands for experiential. So we'll discuss special. So why is it important to share our story? Important to share our journey towards Krishna, and the process to connect Krishna, because your story is special. No one else's story will be like yours, because you are the way you are unique. No one is exactly like you. We all are unique, so our stories are also unique. And if we don't share our story, then it will be lost forever. No one will know that what actually happened. So now some people might feel that this is self glorification. The storytelling is self glorification. If I say how I came to Krishna consciousness, I'm not such a big person. Okay, so it is important that we should remember. Just a minute. It is important that we should understand that the story is not just about you and me. It's about evolution of your relationship with Krishna. And who is Krishna? Krishna is the most special person in all creation. He's the one who's taking care of us from like even if we have left him, his care has not stopped. So this evolution of Krishna's enduring like we can see his expertise in this, like how he is wonderfully in wonderful ways he is giving chances, or connecting towards his lost kids, and trying to take them back to God. So many devotees who asked about their stories, if we ask Mataji or Prabhuji, what is your story behind connecting to Krishna, like how you came to Krishna consciousness, they will say there is nothing special, Mataji. I came to eat prasadam and I got connected and I became a devotee. And someone else might say, Mataji, I got a book and then became a devotee. So only after general some probing that we will like they will have general probing questions, that actual treasure hidden under the nothing so special cover will come out. So for example, if I ask a devotee what attracted you, then there will be an answer, as not only an answer, story behind that answer. So then if we ask our devotee what convinced you, what transformed you, there will be, for every question there will be a big answer with a story behind it, where even yeah. So we should understand that in like in all devotees life, external events, like someone might connect from prasadam, someone might connect through books, someone through DT worship, but there might be so many devotees who we might have common, like two devotees might connect, 2 to 3 devotees might connect only through prasadam. So it might not feel like it might not seem like it is very different from other devotee, but yet because we all have different cultural commitment, personal we all come from different cultural background. I come from south, someone comes from north, someone comes from like other country or something. So basically here, and then purification, like personal purification, where we are in our purification, how much more we are offending people, or whatever it is, like are we like completely in sattva guna, raja guna, tama guna, everything that also adds up. And then how much in line we are with Shastras, how much belief we have with Shastras, how many realizations we have with Shastras, or like how difficult it was to accept Shastras. These all comes acts a play in acts a role in like establishing our Krishna consciousness journey in an inspiring or extraordinary way. So if we if you sit back and try to realize, like understand what went through and how I got to Krishna consciousness through and how my emotions were before Krishna consciousness, and how it changed, how my emotions, how my conceptions, everything changed over a time, then it will be like, it will be fascinating. Like you will we will feel that like was such a big thing we have done. So next, yeah, so yeah, your story, my story, everyone's stories are unique, and yeah, my unique narrative about my story, it can be a gift for everyone else. So both existing devotees and and potential devotees. So it will help existing devotees, because these devotees may appreciate the treasure of Krishna consciousness from a new angle, while it might help potential devotees, uh, s- uh, that they see some treasure hidden in this moment, in this process of connecting to Krishna, and they definitely would like to experience that for them. So basically, sharing our story is important because it is special. So next, it gives, for H stands for heart to heart. So asking other devotees that their stories is one of the best icebreaker. Like if you don't know what to talk about to other devotee, the best thing, yeah, best question you can ask is how you can got connected to Krishna consciousness. So it will actually it will take a conversation among new devotees from to form a social interaction. Basically, one you will form an emotional interaction with that person, and we can also say that it is a heart to heart discussion. It helps us to see, like in like once we see a devotee, we can judge that person by his looks, by by the way he speaks. But when we ask this question and we get answers, we can see deeply beyond his external features or behaviors. So and we'll try to understand the essence, and we will appreciate a fact that it's all like wandering souls like me, him, her, anyone who were so fortunate to found this this moment or this path back to Krishna. So as Venugopal Prabhuji, who is one of the one of okay one of devotees in Mumbai, he says that we are no different from non-materialistic people. The only difference between us and a materialistic people is we are more fortunate. That we should understand that much. So because most of the time we might think that we are devotees, and we will and these people are materialistic people, but somewhere or other in just our frequency differs. Like we indulge many times in materialistic activities. So basically we should understand hands of Krishna as a mercy, and understand that we are so fortunate that we got this moment. Do okay. um yeah and as we have seen that there is a classic example which we already discussed about Narad Muni, who is guiding his disciple Vyasadeva. It is in Srimad Bhagavatam first canto, uh, and then the sixth chapter, I guess 4 to 6 chapter, was completely filled on how he explaining how he came to Krishna consciousness. This Narad Muni's story is not just one life story, it is multi-life story. And it starts from how he is being an ordinary 5-year boy, like anyone. Like we might have seen so many 5-year-old boy, but he's just like same like them, one of them. So but what makes him different is, like, his through his journey he became a universally celebrated spiritual guru or spiritual seer, who is actually his name is in almost of the Puranas, almost all of the Puranas. So he is one of those devotees who has demonstrated on through his story. Also, he is explaining how path of bhakti yoga can elevate anyone from any background. Like you can be in any varna, any ashram, any stage, even in the last moment of your death bed, you can start your journey towards Krishna. So basically his story illustrates how an unseen hand of Krishna or Paramatma guides everyone, especially someone who is sincere in his spiritual path. So Narad Muni in his previous life was an orphan, as we all know, because when his mother was bitten by a snake. But Lord, from as a Paramatma, guides him to go to the forest for meditation. And then when he starts meditating, he sees Narada sees Lord Narayana's a glimpse of Lord Narayana, and then immediately he becomes and he that glimpse vanishes in a moment, and then he becomes so desperate. He hankers to see Krishna, but Krishna, with his voice, he came and he says to Narad Muni that once you get purified, your complete course of purification happens. You'll be able to see me again. So this our story may not be as great or as mysterious like Sri Narada's story, but yet we have something in common. That common thing is a guiding hand of Krishna. Like as per he also Paramatma, he's guiding us too. There are thousands of devotees who are part of Krishna consciousness movement, who come from different country, caste, creed, color, culture, and there are so many thing in diverse. So usually we say it in India, unity in diversity. Basically that can be seen much more much nicely seen when it is into Krishna's movement, ISKCON. We can see it in, like we have unity, like there is a diverse backgrounds, but there is universal appeal for Krishna consciousness. Because there are some features, like there is a profound appreciation, or there is actually not appreciation is a product of what Srila Prabhupada has given. It has it has a philosophy with a strong profundity, and there is a culture with a beauty in it, and ultimately there is one joy or a bliss we all experience. We may not be there might be like I might experience less, someone else might experience more, but this bliss which we experience connects us to this moment. Over such specific features that may have attracted different devotees, it is Krishna who is acting through these features, and he's attracting us actually. Whenever we hear about we hear about these kind of thing, like Krishna is guiding someone in the towards the Krishna consciousness moment, one of the slokas we remember is Ishvara Sarvabhutana Riddhesh Arjuna Tishtati. So that's slokas where Supreme Personality of Godhead is situated in everyone's heart. And he's directing all the living entities who are wandering and who are seated in a machine which is made up of material, material energy. So basically Krishna is guiding everyone. He is situated in everyone's heart, like sun is giving brightness to everyone, regardless of you being poor or having bad karma, good karmas, everything. No matter what, he's sun is giving the sunlight. Similarly, Krishna as Paramatma guides us, makes us evolve from whatever stage we are towards him. So we might have heard many devotees, inspiring devotees in devotee community, but like we might have a good talk with them, but when we have this, like when we hear the story of how this person came to Krishna consciousness, that moment is memorable. At least I remember how a person, a Mataji or Prabhuji, got connected to this moment. And then there's a heart to heart discussion. This heart to heart discussion can happen between any devotees, like any materialistic person also. Like we can have two materialistic person, like so-called materialistic person, everyone is a devotee, but so-called materialistic person can have a heart to can have a heart to heart conversation regarding various materialistic topics. But discussion which is centered around Krishna, or discussion which is centered on around how his journey, or the person's journeys came towards who came towards Krishna, these stories are very different. And because it deepens the bond with every time we say the story, it deepens the bond with Krishna. And through and any bond with Krishna uh, is eternal. So because he is eternal, any bond with Krishna is eternal. And the bond of affection that goes through Krishna and goes to Krishna and through Krishna to other devotees is very is very much it's enriching. It's enriching, and like it gives you full satisfaction. It's fulfilling. So next feature they have discussed is attractive. Why sharing stories is attractive, sharing Krishna consciousness, like how we connected to Krishna consciousness is attractive, because people like to read about far more about philosophy, like they want to read stories more than philosophy. If we have seen, there are several self-help book nowadays. If you read any of the self-help book, we can understand that there are stories, mini stories, small stories to make us understand the concepts. There are, like, just if we imagine to have a healthy life, one of the three most commonly discussed thing is, first, once a person should have proper exercise. He should have scheduled exercise. And then second is he should have he should be very he should have a good diet, 3 times a meal, and minimum 3 times, maximum 3 times a meal. And then with that he should eat healthy food. 1, 2. And then the next thing which comes is which becomes is that person should have enough rest. So he should not have more rest or less rest. This is one of the three prominent. This is just an example. But if we hear a story about a person, about a lady who had a difficult time dealing with her health issues, and she had no time, she did not invest any time, as she was always busy, and was due to some incident she was forced to take decisions to make some good improvements in her health. She starts waking up early for to have a walk. And then how she scheduled she went through this tough time to have a good schedule for her walks. And then we realized and then she's having her meal after meeting several dietitian. Finally some diet suited her. And then last is finally proper rest. Like she had cut down her own binge watching of TV or Netflix or something, and then she's dedicating that time for her body's rest. So these kind of story inspires us, like instead of having the three principles, these kind of stories, these abstract or theoretical principles can become concrete and come alive when explained through stories. That's why whenever there is an expert student, teachers, they always okay, they expert students, teachers, what they do, they explain their subjects in a story. Even good parenting, it happens, I have heard this. Like they explain their whatever they want to explain their child, they'll explain the story. Like a child might be explained, like, don't go there, there might be kidnappers around. So that child might ignore that. But if you tell a story like to a child that, see, there was a child, he did not listen to his parents, and then he ran away, and then this happened, that happened, and the child will be having this whole story, like he will be imagining himself or someone else in that story, and then that child will definitely understand that going out with without parents is not safe. So these kind of stories, even Lord Buddha, Buddha, if you see Buddha's philosophy, it's completely like Buddhism is completely in the sense it is these are principled philosophies. So Buddha told the story in Jataka tales, and Jesus told his parables to explain the concepts of Bible. And then Vedic sages, all the sages we have seen, they told Upanishad. Gita Upanishad is there. As per I know, I have heard, like I have read only two Upanishad, Isha Upanishad and Gita Upanishad. If you see that there are so many instruction, if unless until it like just like Devya, what is that sloka? Where Krishna says that I'm transcendental. Yes, Prabhuji. Haribol. So that in that sloka, the way Krishna is telling, it can be realized through Bhagavad Purana. In Bhagavad Purana, he is showing that he is just a kid like any other kid, any other ordinary kid, we can say. So and this kid, he is opening mouth like any other kid of his age, and his mother is asking him to open the mouth like any other mother in this world. But the difference is like Yashoda Maya can see the whole world in Krishna's mouth, and she can see like she saw everything, including herself and Krishna opening mouth. So how transcendental, like Krishna is in this world, still he is like he's beyond, like he is transcendent to this world. So we can understand this, the philosophy of what, like the principle of what he has stated in Bhagavad Gita in a more convincing or understandable way through the stories. So yeah, if we say see any Puranas, our Vedic in our we have to we all know that according to our religion, basically Vedas are most prominent of all the Puranas or Upanishad. Like Vedas, Upanishads are the most having the higher authority. But if we see, the Puranas are, Vedas are not able to compete Puranas and Itihasas in terms of popularity and efficacy. The way Puranas deal with is so convincible to others, so convincible to others, then that even Upanishad, I have seen hardly people speaking about Upanishads. But if you see, most of them speak about stories, the Puranas. So no doubt all scriptures have revealed, have the divine potency in it. But people need to, like us, if there is a sick person, if I am sick and my medicine is what do you call that, it is bitter, so then what will doctor do? That he'll put it in capsule, and that capsule cover, and he'll give it to me. Similarly, whatever because this medicine is a potent medicine and it will benefit me. But the scripture of similarly, the scriptures offer us cure to all the disease desire. Like, what do you mean by disease desire? Disease desire is something, desires which will take us away from Krishna, an instance towards the Krishna. That this is kind of this misdirection of our desire is the root of all problems. Battling with these problems, sometimes we end all our life, like we waste all our life or energy. Actually, lifetime after lifetime, we are stuck here because we were misdirected by our own desires. So when our scriptures or with scriptural wisdom to redirect our desires, help us to give a lasting inner fulfillment or inner wisdom, we can say, and meaningful outer achievement. Like, it should go hand in hand, whatever actually it goes hand in hand always. So such achievements will bring glories to Krishna. it and does justice to Krishna given ability to us. Like we all might have one ability, like one minimum one ability from which we can serve Krishna. So and enables, and this ability can be put in through shastras or through our Vedic or scriptural knowledge that will enable us to give to guide us to um serve others and actually and glorify Krishna. And in a holistic way, if we see it, actually it is through shastras we are actually more contributing to society. And all these blessings, like whatever blessing, whatever we have discussed, that uh, can't reach to those who don't read the scriptures. So to increase the reach, the spiritual teachers, what they do, they present the theories in a form of story. Uh, and what is Krishna's story and his devotee stories are is a different league for in itself. So from the other normal stories, but underlining principle is that uh, uh, what do you call this? The stories, the theories in action is far more appealing than theories, concepts, whatever concepts we have in theories. Like if we to know the story, we'll remember all the points and we'll go through it again and again. So uh, that doesn't mean that we have to minimize the importance of philosophy of Krishna consciousness, or lessening the value of Bhagavad Gita or any other Upanishad. It's like we should understand that if there was no Srila Prabhupada, who has given us such an empowered book, people wouldn't have understand most part of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, as it is too technical. Most of the time we feel, why is Krishna saying this, why is Krishna saying that? We will not understand Krishna so he has designed this book in a way that it the difference the book is customized according to a person who is in sick state and who is a healthy state, like a pure devotee and a neophyte. Both can enjoy and relish the book. So he has designed this book in such a way. Uh, so and so if not Srila Prabhupada, then these philosophies where would have gone, like even none of them would have understood this philosophy, greater philosophy. So to just a minute. Yeah. So this Krishna conscious story should be is revolving, like these stories also revolves around the same philosophy of what Srila Prabhupada has taught us, and mostly it conveys the same essential message. And that's why it is such it attracts people. Stories attracts people, but Krishna conscious stories attract so many people because of this. In fact, uh, there, if you see, there is like, why do we see movies, why do we read novels and all? Because there is a great hunger for story. Like even if we meet someone, we'll ask their past, we'll ask more than future, we'll ask their past, and they will explain how they went through certain situation. So there is a universal hunger, I feel, for stories. And that's why it is one of the most booming industry, film industry or any industry, because stories attract people. Sometimes usually people say that demonize our religion by saying your God has kids here, he has story, he does this, he does that. And then I understand, I feel, uh, yes, God is so attractive. One of the feature of God is like he is attractive, he's so powerful. And how can he lack such a thing, like um, how can he lack something which is so attractive, that is stories? How can he have no stories? How can he be so impersonal? So one of the if he's all attractive, then he should have stories. And with Krishna's mercy, in Prabhupada's mercy, we have that in Bhagavad Puran or Chaitanya Charitamrita or many other devotees realization. So basically, there is a fiction, there's a fiction literature industry that is running parallelly in this world. But if we see, these fiction have hardly touched any even after so much efforts, it can somewhere match, it cannot be matched to what potency Krishna's story has or his leelas has. So that's why if someone cannot understand, they'll call it myth. So nearly most of the books, high sale books, highly sold books, they are non-fictional genre. So even in Christianity, the most of the books which are sold is fictional, Krishna, this what you call this stories basically. So and there are some devotees in Krishna consciousness also. They start Mataji, Taruna Mataji gave us one book, salted bread or something like that. It was such a wonderful story where devotees are devotees came and wrote this beautiful story. And but we should but a materialistic book or non-fiction books cannot even actually it is not this book these books are not marketed well. Otherwise, definitely it would these book have been also been bestseller list. So these books, so whatever our shastras have or these kind of books, devotees books, that cannot even begin to tap the potential of so materialistic books cannot tap the potential of this spiritual books which are true. So we, by sharing our stories, we are contributing to this universal hunger for stories in a small part. Of course, our story may not be fiction, our story might be very ordinary, but by sharing how I came to Krishna consciousness, actually demonstrate that facts are stranger and much beautiful than fiction. So if our story isn't that exciting, still being a story, it is much more appealing than sharing a discourse. Like if when it comes to storytelling, I remember only one person, that is Amrendra Das Prabhuji. So Amrendra Das Prabhuji is a wonderful storyteller, and he's 93 born. But if you can see his there are several brahmacharis who speaks. I'm not comparing their thing, but I'm just comparing the beauty of attractiveness of having story, knowing telling story. So basically, Amrendra Das Prabhuji, what he does is he enacts the story, he speaks the story in a way that people get connected, and he can speak for hours. Like Jagan Prabhu was one time telling that he went to US and he was speaking for hours, like 4 hours, and still people were like didn't want to move out from that. 4 hours of storytelling and people were sitting there. So basically he makes his philosophy much easier through his discourse. So yeah, next thing is next acronym is reminding. So when we find just like in marriage, when we initially get married, 1-2 years will be so exciting. Like we invest so much time, energy, money, whatever we have, we invest, because the relationship seems so beautiful at that time. But as the time passes, we settle down in the relationship, then we stop working on it. So we similarly in Krishna consciousness, initial days, we have so much like we do this, we do that, we are fully excited, we have that dramatic outer and inner transformation which are very exciting. So over years, caught in life in daily struggles, that we forget the huge difference what Krishna has made in our life. We just like we have forget how our partners have influenced our life, have given so much to us, regardless of so many years we are staying together. So similarly here also, we forget how Krishna relationship with Krishna was so beautiful, and how exciting it will be if we invest every day. We work less, like we work on marriage, we work on in our devotional service. So such forgetfulness, uh, maybe the neglect, maybe makes us neglect towards the supreme blessing what Krishna has given us, or Krishna consciousness has given us. So n- just a minute. Sorry. uh, So what here when someone asks what are like by telling stories, are we self promoting self? What good is going to come out of it? But and then but eventually if you write stories, then you will like story about yourself, like how you got connected to Krishna consciousness, the knowing the message, sorry, just give me a minute. So and yeah, these people who will be cynic, or who will think about wrong, might think wrong about us, will they will understand the messenger better with appreciation, and they may get attracted towards Krishna. So and we might not understand that, like one might think like my story is not that inspiring, it might not help someone. But we should understand that even if it's not helping someone, at least it will, so we can sit back, we can like sit back and ponder for a time, and then we can realize that, looking back in our life journey, and how Krishna has with through his various manifestation has been there in all critical turns of life, and has helped us all along dealing with our karmas. And some of the things, like some of our life experiences were for faith boosting, they actually generated hope, and they gave us joy. And this complete vision holistically, if you see that devotional vision of our, this will gain us a devotional vision of our life's journey in for future. So next for share is last is E, experiential. If a person gives honest real life story, then intellectual defenses of people, like some people may not uh, they might be atheist, for example, or some like they don't believe in our philosophy or anything as such. If our real life story is honest, uh, then there will be evidence of, we are actually giving evidence, personal evidence, on full display. So we may not be the authority, like I may not leave Bhagavad Gita, I may not be a walking person, like uh, uh, what I talk and what my walk, like how I walk, how I conduct my life may not be according to scriptures. But we are authority to our life. So our testimony of personal life, what happens is like it becomes it is irreplaceable, it will become so tempting, and it will have a like amazing force on a devotee. There are skeptics who often dismiss your religion as a big message. Usually before joining ISKCON, I heard this: ISKCON is a commercial uh, institute who takes money, and then ISKCON asks for money donation, because they have so many things to do, and with money, with Krishna's resources, they are serving Krishna. And the only institute I feel which is using Krishna, which is maintaining temples so well using Krishna's money. They are no, it is not that I don't see the way the donation goes in maintaining the temple, like for this institute than other institute. This institute has definitely has like is not a professional market, but these usually people dismiss our religion or our business, that it needs money, like it has a like it is a business making thing or something like that. And then whatever presentation we give to them in philosophy of Krishna consciousness, they will find some faults in it, and they will, like, as we have seen devotees Chandini Mataji and many other Prabhujis and Matajis coming up with misunderstanding on how devotees understood Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita in a wrong way, and they are interpreting it in a wrong way, and they are misguiding the others that Bhagavad Gita is completely is not that good scripture something. So finding faults, they will find faults in everything, and they will so that they can preserve their this belief, and propagate their this belief. So with this cynical, everyone has cynical in the cynic in their mind. So with this cynical view, what happens, our within the with this cynical view, uh, uh, and understanding this cynical view, our stories, our personal stories, what they have, what does that do, that gives a higher potency to put towards the philosophy, and that even the best speaker with theoretical knowledge can't give. So these people who are atheists, or any group of people who have, they have their certain way of speaking, by which they convince that they think that we are like we are satisfied customer, and they believe that our satisfaction is a delusion. But still they want to understand, and, by our story they will want to understand why our delusion, and comprehend that why it makes us feel satisfied. So if explained nicely, it will help them discover the real delusion, and not our satisfaction, that our whatever satisfaction we show, but it might actually help them to correct themselves. So in fact, experience based approach nowadays, if you see, experience based approach is on the highest talk in intellectuals, contemporary intellectuals. They speak that it is also known as postmodernism. In modern time, people have faith in, usually, even the way our country has grown, usually people have faith in science. Because we should have faith in science and reasoning. We should give pramana basically for everything. So which is seen reliable, because if something you are speaking something, you should have proof before that. But before science came into picture, before that was when science came into picture, it's known as modern times. Before science came into picture, that is pre-modern times, people had faith in revelation and scriptures, like personal experience and scriptures, like they had faith in that. So science actually, sorry, this faith, our whole business of faith, that fell down because it was asserted by science, whose worldview seemed superior to the world scriptures. Okay, so however, however, if we see, science did not dominate us for much years. Like now people are coming back to their, all of them are coming back to their respective religions. They're speaking about God, they're speaking about something. Even in this age where the science is in it, like has giving its own best potential, potency, it is showing the best discoveries of all, but people are coming back towards God. So nowadays people, like now general public I'm speaking, they neither believe in science because science changes their proof, their thing, everything time to time, and they don't believe in scriptures because of because they have lost their habit of believing in scriptures. So due to this historical evolution between both scripture and science, people in today's faith, they have neither faith in science nor in scriptures. They largely live on experiences and consider someone who speaks their experiences, someone who speaks the path they have walked through their in their teachings. So there are many impersonal teachers, like we in any religion, or we call them Nirakarvadi in our religion, or Mayavadi to some extent. So these people have popularized their theories or their philosophy by presenting it through their feelings or experiences. But unfortunately, we in Bhakti Marg and our Bhakti teachers have walked very less in this path. So we should adopt this kind of preaching where we are speaking about Krishna consciousness with experiential spiritual openness. And definitely bhakti yoga actually is about bhava. So but since we are beginners or neophytes, or we don't know what our feeling exactly is, so it becomes very difficult, and we might someone might call us sahajya, and it might be true also to some extent, because we don't work hard for Krishna, but we feel something and we relate to that we are some of the biggest devotees. I'm just talking for myself. But Krishna in his Krishna in his Bhagavad Gita in 9th chapter, he has said, Raja Vidya Rajaguyam Pavitram Idam Uttamam Pratyaksha Vagamam Dharmam Susukam Kartu Avyayam. So here in this world, Pratyaksha Vagamam means this movement, this bhakti yoga, it gives direct perception of the self by realization. Basically, we have, every time we do connect to Krishna, there is something to realize. So acknowledging that experiential potency of bhakti, we like Sanatan Goswami says that it gives us the highest of all the experience, that is a pramana, that that is acquiring, that is one of the way of acquiring knowledge. So your story, my story, everyone's story is unique. And if it is well presented, if we know how to tell a story, then definitely that may be well presented, then the very kind of evidence that many people will find attractive, basically. So sorry. So while now today we will be writing down our story and explaining it to like we will be that will be a small work exercise we will be doing. So like one of the factor is, when I have observed in me, like when we hear a story, we start judging, oh, this devotee is a good great devotee, oh, this devotee is like not so great thing. Like I remember a devotee brahmachari telling me a story about in ISKCON Juhu, that how he got connected to Krishna consciousness. At that time, he said, he joined Krishna consciousness movement because he want to escape from this material responsibilities, and he could not, the moment he came to Krishna consciousness, there was no stress, there was work, but there was no what do you call this, no stress, as such. So this made him happy and he settled down in the temple. So I was thinking, why this person, this is not a good reason to join a movement, that he wanted to escape from his responsibility, that's why he came here. And then but later in a while I realized that, but this person is giving direct service to the deities, direct service towards to all the devotees, regardless of why he joined. But if we see this journey, he's doing much service than what I am doing. So it's very easy to judge others, and judging others, we should understand that we should care for others. We should not judge others. And these are some translation of Srimad Bhagavatam slokas, 7th canto. Different people are of different. Can any Mataji read this first sloka? Tandvini Mataji.
Hello, Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, so 7.13.42, Srimad Bhagavatam.
Yes, Mataji.
Different people are of different mentalities. Therefore, it is not my business either to praise them or to blaspheme them. I only desire their welfare, hoping that they will agree to become one of the super soul, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna.
Hari Bol. Thank you, Mataji. So this is told by I guess Prahlad Maharaj. And then 11th canto sloka. Prabhuji, any Prabhujis?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Srimad Bhagavatam 11.28.2. Whoever indulges in praising or criticizing the qualities and behavior of others will quickly become deviated from his own best interest by his entanglement in the illusory dualities.
Yes. So the first sloka says that everyone has their own mentality, and then but the only thing we should think is how to connect them to Krishna, because of that. And then and the second sloka speaks about how praising or criticizing the qualities of others will make us like ourselves indulge. Like किसी को काला लगाना है तो my mom is like that, even that there was a saying that किसी के लिए किसी को गड्ढे में डालना है तो खड्डा खोदना पड़ेगा, और किसी को काला लगाना है तो हाथ पे काला लगाना पड़ेगा, something like that. So we will be by judging others, we will be stuck in this material illusionary dualities, good, bad, and all that. So yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji, Mataji. So we should introspect, we should see what we can learn from their experiences, and we should actually care for them the way they are speaking. So this is suggested framework. I would request all devotees to have a pencil and pen, and then we will have 5 minutes to jot down everything, all the experience, like things, and 3 minutes to share. Okay, time to talk. So like how the thing is, what my life was before Krishna consciousness, where I came from, basically my lifestyle and culture, what was my concept about spirituality, and what were my belief or stand about at that time. And then next is what made me feel the need for Krishna. No, like how did I feeling something, there was something missing in my life, and what alternatives were there before I came to Krishna. Next, third is how did we commit to how did I commit my life to Krishna? When was the first time I encountered or I started my journey, and what was my first impression? How it eventually convinced me, and what is the defining moment in my spiritual transformation? Like what was that one moment which made me convinced that Krishna is there? So what difference has Krishna made in my life? How Krishna consciousness made me a better person? How did it empower me to encounter my lower side, basically? What did it help me to face? How did it help me to face problems better? So these are the questions, like questions in the sense framework. You can go beyond it also, but we should complete it in 3 minutes. Whatever talks are there, that should be completed in 3 minutes. Keeping that in mind, I would request all devotees just to write down some points. Like don't write sentences, just write the key points, and then while explaining, you can revolve around that key point. So the time starts. Can I start, Matajis and Prabhujis? Do you have paper and pen with you?
Yes, Mataji, yes.
Yes, I have.
Haribol. And Aparna Mataji and Mamta Mataji and Venkat Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji.
Haribol.
Yes,
Thank you,
Mataji.
Mataji
Hare
and
Krishna.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you. So, yeah, we will. Can I start the timer?
Yes.
Haribol. Just give me a minute. I don't have timer with me. I'll just see. I have. It's 8:25 now. We will end it by 8:30, according to my watch, whatever watch I have in front of me. So, okay, the time starts now. Let's start jotting down.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
The session is going on. Mataji, I just dropped for 2
Okay.
minutes.
Mataji, it is this, Mataji, we are doing, we are jotting down all the points here. Basically, here, like why we are just taking a paper and pencil and we are writing the key points, like what was my life before Krishna consciousness, what was my lifestyle, and how was I was influenced by my own cultural culture, and then what were my conception. Basically, these are the questions. You have to just jot down the key points, and then when you will be given only 3 minutes to speak or to share. So that time will be given, you have to share, Mataji.
Yeah, writing down will be, I think my time is already consumed.
No,
So I
Mataji,
can-
just has started. Yeah, we have hardly finished 1 minute. So we can wait for you after that also 1 minute. So you can, if you can get pen and pen paper, then you can start, Mataji. Hari.